The last thing you need to do is plug them in. What's y2?
3.
Take away y1. Negative 1. Over. Negative 2. Take away x1 is 4. And then just work it out, obviously on top. This is like plus 1. 3 plus 1 when you subtract negative, which is 4. And in the bottom, negative 2, negative 4, negative 6. And if you reduce that, what's your slope? Negative 2/3. And even if you reverse the points like they did in the book, if you let this be 0.1, this be 0.2, the only thing that's different is the negative ends up being on top. If you don't write the points down and if you don't label it, then don't ask me to find your mistake. I'm telling you to write these down and label them because then you'll have them all set and you'll be able to plug them in and you'll get them in the right spots and you'll get the right answer. When you try to do half of it in your head, you put them in the wrong places and then you get the wrong answer. Don't ask me why did I get the wrong answer if you didn't label them or write the points down. Got it?
Got it.
Got it?
No.
Got it.
See me after class. So that's how you do it if you have points. The other way you can do it is with an equation of a line. Find the slope if you have the equation of a line. By the way, did you have questions over there? Do you have questions on this one first?
Nope.
Do you see over there I wrote the slope-intercept form? I guess I could write it again for you. Is this, it's y equals mx plus b. In slope-intercept form, the reason it's called slope-intercept form, the slope is the value out in front of x. The intercept is this b value. The slope is the number in front of the x. But it's the number in front of the x when the equation is solved for y. You have to get the equation solved for y. So before you can get the slope of this, you have to solve it for y. I always have kids who say, oh, the slope is 2. It's not 2. You have to get the equation solved for y first. How do you solve this for y? Right, good. You minus 2x. Negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 7. Then what do? Divide by negative 3. And what you have to make sure you remember is that this goes with both of those. Correct? What's negative over negative? 2/3 x. That'd be this one right here. But don't forget it also goes with this. What's positive over negative?
Negative.
Negative 7/3.
Negative.
So there's your equation. And remember, if we're trying to find the slope, what we're looking for is the x coefficient. Isn't that easy?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
the slope of this line then?
2/3.
Right. Slope equals 2/3. So all you have to do is solve the equation for y. There really isn't a whole lot of math, not a whole bunch of steps, but just solve it for y, and then whatever's in front of the x, that's the slope of the line. Isn't that easy? Do you have a question on that one? What if I have y equals 3x?
Uh-oh.
What's the slope of that one?
3.
0.
Is it solved for y? Then the slope is whatever's in front of the x. When it's solved for y, the slope is what's in front of the x. Well, what's in front of the x? Right there. So the slope is 3. Is it solved for y? Is it solved for y? Yes, I have y equals. I have y equals. It's what's in front of the x. Where is the x? How many are there if there is no x? Right, we just don't write 0x plus. So what's the slope of that line? 0. That's the flat one. Slope is 0. The other case would be this. What about if x equals 3?
Oh, no. 3.
If x equals 3,
3.
then it's vertical. You're right. And one thing I forgot to say down there, for a vertical line, what is the slope?
0, 1.
Undefined.
Yes. For a vertical line, it is so steep, it is undefined. And the reason why, if you use the y2 take away y1, x2 take away x1, look over here. If you use rise over run, let's just put some, it's rise over run. What's the rise to get from this point to this point? How many do I go up?
3.
But what's the run? How many over? How many left or right? 0. And
I'm lost. Can't do that.
in algebra
Wouldn't it be 3
2,
over
we
1?
can't do that. Would you please stop talking over there, whoever's talking? It's a boy. When you first learn how to divide, they tell you this is 0. 3 divided by 0 is 0. But the problem is, no matter what, you always have a remainder. No matter how many times that goes in, you are still going to have a remainder of 3. So this, when you have 0 in the denominator, it's undefined. Oops, undefined. It's undefined, and so therefore the slope of this one is undefined. Could you sit still? Undefined. Slope of the flat one is 0. That's where you get a 0 on top. The slope of the vertical line, undefined. That's where you get 0 on the bottom. So don't just write the slope is 0 over 5. I want to know that you know that's 0. You can't just write the slope is 3 over 0. You need to tell me the slope is undefined. Got it?
Got it.
Do you have
Give me one.
questions?
No.
Are there any questions? Does anyone have a question?
No. Yeah.
You can stop it. Yes?